Episode 7 of Monsters begins in 1983, with Dunn heartbroken as he finds out John Thomas Sweeney is found not guilty for murder. He gives an impassioned speech in front of the jury and is shocked that this man has been let off lightly. Back in the present, Lyle tries to get witnesses for his father's abuse, but everyone turns him down. In fact, he even nonchalantly suggests to Jamie that she lie and claim Jose tried to rape her. Lyle continues to concoct a bunch of other stories about Kitty chasing them around with a knife, but this doesn't sound as sincere as the abuse, and Leslie is quick to pull him up for it. A bunch of letters from admirers show for Lyle while he's behind bars, one of which comes from a woman called Norma. He gets talking to her and starts to flirt. But unfortunately for Erik, he's starting to slip. He misses Tony, who is gone now, and opens up to Dr. Vicari about this. When the session resumes, Lyle talks Leslie through the events leading to their parents' death. He grabbed the shotgun out of fear and ends up concocting a story about how his parents had guns too. Leslie is not happy with this and demands Lyle make them feel their remorse. These guys are up for the death penalty, so Leslie tells them they really need to show just how awful the abuse was and make the jury feel this too. And just like that, Lyle suddenly turns and gives a sobering look at the abuse, with tears running down his cheeks too. We then cut to July 1993 and the pair are brought to the courthouse. There are a whole bunch of adoring fans outside, and this directly contrasts Dunn looking over the bloody details of the case, with the horrific images of the Menendezes dead in their house. Dunn immediately confronts Leslie after her initial statement about Kitty and Jose being abusive, pointing out it's the same defence that she used in the Arnell case, who walked out of manslaughter charges. Dunn believes the whole thing is made up and riddled with plot holes. He brings all of this up over dinner with his friends too. Alongside the delayed response to the police, the boys have lied from the very beginning about how to handle this, and of course they try to cover it all up with the mafia story. After some witness reports, Dunn backtracks slightly and shrugs off the abuse the boys suffered from, claiming that everyone around the table during dinner have suffered a bit growing up. Dunn was also called a sissy, much like Lyle was in his statement, but he obviously didn't murder anyone. The thing is, he also wasn't sexually abused and has his own bias, which a few round the table are quick to point out as well. According to Dunn's source, which happens to be someone inside the Menendez family, the boys concocted the whole thing to deflect from Erik's homosexuality. In fact, Dunn goes for an even more twisted theory, claiming that Lyle and Erik were incestuous together and that's why this has all been shifted onto Jose. But then Dunn is twisted by the justice system and believes the defence just lie and make up stories. His bias is understandable though, especially having to sit there and listen to Sweeney being turned into a sympathetic murderer. However, it also sheds light on how he has an agenda before even hearing the whole case. The next day, Lyle takes to the stand and speaks about the abuse he suffered from. He also goes on to reveal when things got bad and how he himself turned that abuse towards Erik. Both Lyle and Erik end up crying as they struggle to grapple the gravity of the situation. It's a very tough session, and upon hearing this, Dunn believes he may actually be in the wrong and speaks to Leslie at her home that night, apologising that he may have got it wrong. Emphasis on maybe here. Back in prison, Lyle continues to run his mouth and boasts to Norma about his amazing performance in court. Unfortunately, she ends up writing notes and records their entire session too, which is where episode 7 comes to an end. Lyle's testimony here is incredibly difficult to listen to, but unfortunately he undermines the whole thing by bragging to Norma about his amazing performance. The thing is, the way he says this, it just sounds like a flex rather than lying about all the abuse, but it's hard to tell, to be honest, especially with the way he turned that performance on and off in front of Leslie. It could well be that he's been coached by her to pull on the waterworks like this, but either way, it does his case absolutely no favours whatsoever. Seeing how Dunn suffered from abuse in the past continues that trend we've seen of individuals being messed up from this. And Dunn has his own agenda here, of course, given what happened to his daughter. It takes a big man to apologise when you're wrong, and seeing Dunn apologise to Leslie at the end helps to add an extra dash of respect to this guy, who has long stood by his own biases and ideas. Unfortunately, all of this looks like it's about to come crashing down in the next episode. Thanks for watching, and do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.